Morning, fuckers. It's beautiful out. I could tell just by outside. I just got out the shower. I didn't want to get out, man. That shit felt so good. Just the hot water pouring over me. I slept good as fuck last night. I was dreaming all night. Man, fucking. I decided not to make more videos. And I decided to take time to myself last night. Because, one, I never did that before. I've learned how to do that. And I know when to do it. Last night was the time to do it. I was getting frustrated. One, because fucking fireworks all night long. My cat doesn't like it. So I found that one out the first time this year. So she does not like fireworks. Which I covered her in last night. My fucking face was really, really dry. Like really, really bad, and my knee was hurting. So that's another reason why I took time to myself. I was hurting. I was a little sore, you know. All the yoga and everything else, it catches up to you really bad. Like, it's hard to get out of bed sometimes when you do all the yoga that I do. Because I'm constantly stretching my body, you know what I mean? I'm constantly putting pressure, you know, on my back, stretching it out, which I was working on this like right here, that one right here. That's the one I've been working on the most, and the lower back. Those are the two. Because the way your back arches, it's hard to get to. You almost got to put something underneath. Claw. I hope they become best friends. You hungry, Claw? So I ended up having this all over my hands, and I was petting her and playing with her, and it's all in her coat. You can see it. So everything's going to stick to her now. Claw. Claw. I'll bring you some food. Hold on. That's what it is. He's hungry. He wants attention. So today might be a big day, man. I don't know. We'll see. You know, this guy might show up today. He might bring me a vehicle. He might be showing up on a fucking HD 2500. That's a big boy truck. You hear me? That's a man truck. That's not cheap. You know, a new one of those costs $50,000. $40,000. You know, you can't touch one for less than 40. You know, $30,000, and that's for a base model. You know what I mean? A brand new vehicle, a brand new 2500, I guarantee costs at least 30, 40 G's. Claw. Of course, I go to bring him food, and the neighbor across the street come out, and he took off thinking there's food coming. That's funny. That's good, though. I don't know what we're doing today. We're really just kind of waiting. There's not much I can do besides go down to that lady's house, but that's not till 5:36. So we got to get rolling. So I got to get her going today. I'm hoping to make a few bucks today. I gotta get some cat litter, or get some cat litter from Bill or something. That's good. Claws across the street. That's good. That's on. We gotta get going. We gotta get rolling today, like fast. I got a lot of shit to do. I don't think I want to show you guys my password. That'd be bad. It would. It'd be really bad. Because I have a lot of services running and stuff. All they really would need is my IP address, and then I have these services running. They could use a program like Kali Linux, an operating system like Kali Linux. If they had my IP address, you know, they could just start guessing ports that are open. You know, they could run a scan, see what ports are open, see if I'm hosting any services over the network, and then once they realize I'm hosting something over the network, they kind of start attacking the software that is hosting those services over the IP address, which they're basically just looking for flaws in the programming for them to get in. Some programs, they know the backdoor, you know, because a lot of people write a backdoor in, they know. You know, they've been in that program before. They know exactly how that program works and all that stuff. Which Claw's over there, so I'm gonna feed him. Which I gotta put on shoes. So I have socks on. Put my New Balances on. I'm gonna go over there and go feed him. Claw, come here. I know you came over here to eat. Come on, Claw. That's what he came over here for, is to eat. That's why he comes over my house. He wants real food. Come on. Here. This is that shit you like, Bubba. This is that tuna shit. That tuna and chicken. Good shit, fucking. It's one of the the ones that smell the most out of all of them. Here you go, Bubba. Eat up. It smells like tuna. He said, nope, I don't want any. Kiki. Claw. Claw. Come here, Bubba. Here. Yeah. What's that for? You just getting old. That's what it is. He's getting old. That's what it is. He's getting old and grumpy. What? He said, just let me hang out, man. I just want to sit. Really? That's how you're gonna play me, dude? That's how you're gonna play me? Yeah? What's that? What the fuck? I don't have no medication for you, Bubba. I don't have no drugs. I still think he's in a lot of pain. There he goes, my cat. Ventura, you don't go chasing after him. Come on. You smell like pine. That for fur, she smells like fucking mint and pine. I did it though to get the bugs off of her, keep the bugs off of her, all that stuff. Soften up her fur. Her whiskers are finally coming in on the right side. It was bad, man. Her whole face, like her whiskers, everything was just crusted. It was terrible, man. her face was itching for weeks, her rubbing her face, her nose against me. It's just now healed, it's furs finally growing in, all that stuff. So yeah, this is what's all over her fur. White pine vapor rub. Organic olive oil, white pine, beeswax, cocoa butter, menthol crystals, essential oils of eucalyptus, rosemary, tea tree, spearmint, peppermint, and lavender. That's what's all in her coat. I rubbed it into her fur. So when I do give her a bath, it'll strip up. That soap will, it strips all the oil out. But her fur will still be, her hair will still have oil in it. So it'll keep the bugs off of her, that type of stuff, The bugs won't want to sit in her hair because of the pine, That's why I did it. She's chasing after the ant. I'm so happy she's not blind, or I was really worried that she was going to be blind. My head is fucking foggy as hell. I had to bring her up towards the porch. Come on, girl. You're not supposed to be down here anyways. You're too young yet. You don't know all the rules yet. Hey, stay up here, girl. She only came down there because I was down there, and Claw, she wants to hang out with Claw all the time, and she runs after him. He doesn't like it. He takes off every time. Alright. Log in. Do my morning routine. Sudo. Put in the password, and we'll get automatic root privileges. I won't have to put it in every time. So boom, now we got a pound key. I'm about to pound her out. So, yeah, once you have the pound key, you got to be very, very careful. Because you already have administrative rights. Whatever you punch in, it's just going to go ahead and take care of it. It's going to do it without no password. So if you change something, if you accidentally type in something wrong and you change a system file, you can fuck up the whole system. It's done. So you got to be really careful what you're doing. So now that I'm in the terminal, I'm in the actual root, I'm in the root folder, which I'm not in the root folder yet, but I'm saying like I have administrative. That's what they call it, root. If you have a pound key, you have administrative root, like raw privileges. They just pretty much say I rooted your box because they have access into your terminal. They can have access to it. So we're gonna go cd / and it'll still tell you just like before. All right, it's just all the difference is we have administrative privileges. That's why everything is in red with the hashtag. So we're just gonna do a simple update. App-get update. All right, and then we'll do same thing but upgrade. Boom. Nothing is good, so let's check the calendar. Type in CAL. Tells the calendar. Shows a little calendar. Okay, now we know that stuff. We can I don't know, maybe type in time. See if it tells the time. It does. It actually tells you real user and system time. I'm assuming you can specify it. So time, right? And we're gonna type in -- help. Command not found. So maybe it's man time. Sometimes you gotta go like man time. Sometimes it'll tell you the manual page if it has it. So it does. Alright. It says time. Get time in seconds. Include hashtag time -h, time -t, _t time. So that's the synopsis, how you would type it, right? It says time returns to time as a number of seconds since the epoch. 1970-0101. It says if TLC is non-null, the return value is also stored in the memory pointed by the TLOC. So it says return value on success, the value of time in seconds since the epoch is returned. So EFONT TLOC points outside your accessible address space. Our systems where the C library time wrapper function invokes an implementation provided by the VDOSC. So we're going to be eventually doing man pages so we understand all this stuff for you guys, right? A lot of this stuff people ain't going to understand. But it says POSIX 1 defines seconds since the epoch using a formula that approximates the number of seconds between a specified time and the epoch. This formula takes account of the fact that all years that are evenly divisible by 4 are leap years. But years that are evenly divisible by 100 are not leap years unless they are also evenly divisible by 400, in which case they are leap years. This value is not the same as the actual number of seconds between the time and the epoch. Because of leap seconds and because system clocks are not required to be synchronized to a standard reference, the intention is that the interpretation of seconds since the epoch values be consistent. On Linux, a call to time with TLC specified as null cannot fail with the error E overflow. Even on IBAs where time, is a standard, is assigned 32-bit integer and the clock tricks past the time. So what this was about, the epoch times, right? A lot of people don't understand that, when they created the system operating systems, right? We had to follow a calendar, right? They had to pick a calendar, which everybody usually follows the Gregorian calendar, right? But in order to get it properly done, right, scientists have been, following, since the beginning of time. People want to know, when did time start, right? When did the universe create? How do we know all this stuff? So what it was saying is you have to add the lunar cycle to the calendar. That's the only way to really get a true calendar. And that's what it was explaining. But it was also telling you the programming issues that are with it. Now, I remember back when I was a kid, the Y2K bug. Everybody thought that in the year 2000, all the computer systems were going to stop working because a lot of them relied on time, right? Like the calendar, like Windows and stuff, for security issues. If the time and date wasn't, proper, you wouldn't be able to run a certain program or anything. It was a security function to check, to see if the, operating system was legit type stuff, security stuff. So people were worried that, these computers, these operating systems weren't going to know what to do. They were going to have to rewrite everything in a sense. Like even the computer programmers were freaking out over it because they knew that they might have a bunch of problems on their hand, and they would have to sort it out, which nothing happened. It literally just the next day happened, and all the computer systems were working fine in a sense. It was kind of funny. I remember the Y2K bug. You can Google this stuff. It was interesting. I was really young though too. Now I know I understand the stuff of it. You know what I mean? So, but time, that's another thing I've been studying is the calendar, the Hebrew calendar. People say, God says that he created the earth in 7 days. The Bible says he created the earth in 7 days. But what is a day to God, right? What is a day to God? We think a day is, right? We've made it up that it's days, day and night. That's what the Bible says, but you don't know the span of time in God. God's time is infinite. You know what I mean? We lost a lot of that ancient information, the ancient calendar, and how they did a lot of things, The only thing that really has survived out of the Hebrew is, 1, the Bible, and 2, their language. Hebrew language is the only language on this earth, okay, that is derived from ancient times. It's the only one that has, there's other ones obviously, but it's the one that's the most sophisticated. It's the truth. You can look this up. And it's also one of the languages that was a revival. So it almost was a dead language. People stopped speaking it for a long time. Even in the Middle Ages, like Hebrew was, known, you know what I mean? That was basically the most spoken language throughout the Middle Ages in the Middle East, through that area. During the 1800s, 1900s, there was a big revival because, there was all this literature on the Bible and the book. People were so, were born of the Spirit. They it was a big thing. Even people in like England and France and all these different places, they really, really started speaking Hebrew to bring the language back because they didn't want it going extinct. So out of all the languages, right, after the Tower of Babel, right, it's the only one that's really, really has sophistication, that has survived throughout all these years. Obviously, like I said, there's more, but this is the most sophisticated. It's the most, it is the oldest. We can look into it, which we will, right now I'm just doing videos talking. That's another thing people have to understand. A lot of these videos right now, they're not diving into full topics and doing an hour video just on that topic. So, unfortunately, I don't have time like that right this minute. I'm moving around and I'm busy constantly. Which I didn't drink my Corona last night. And there's a reason for it. There's two reasons for it. First reason was it was fireworks all night, popping off last night. I couldn't concentrate. I mean, obviously the fireworks did stop, but by the time they stopped, it was midnight. I didn't want to smoke all my weed too. I knew if I drunk that last night, I would have stayed up to 4 a.m, pounding out fucking programming, and I would have smoked all my weed. I would have. And I would have saved a little bit of weed for this morning. I would have just smoked it, and I would have been irritated all day. I would have been trying to figure out how to get weed. I'd be trying to figure out how to get to that side of town just because I don't have weed, which I have to be here, right? That guy, I'm going to message soon and say, hey, I'm up. You're more than welcome to come over whenever you want to stop by. This is the guy with the HD 2500. He's talking about me giving me the HD 2500, right? And me taking care of his F350 so he can work and make money and drive around. So that's what I'm going to do. If he shows up, which I asked him if, he was camera shy. He said yes. So unfortunately, I won't have him on camera. If he does show up, so you guys, whatever I got to do today with him, unfortunately, you won't. I'll be away from the camera. And then if that gets chopped off, which it should, he needs stuff done. But, you never assume. So the lady at the corner has that blazer, which is the Batman blazer, which just that alone has some significance to it. I can make something with it. Just because it has the Batman hood and the way the truck looks and what's on it, I can make something from it. It's going to take work, though. And then I got to get her to drop it off, right? So she has to trust me, and this woman has to believe in me that I'm going to get this truck running, first of all. And then second of all, get it sold so that me and her can eat, That's hard to do, when someone don't know you. Remember, I knocked on this woman's door and was like, But she's the one that brought it up when I was walking by. See, my flywheel's already getting rusty. I got this capped off so no water gets in it. It's covered, bag on here. This covered, that bag. There's no water getting in my motor, you hear me? So I'm ready to go, man. I gotta get out of here. That fuel tank has a brand new fuel pump in it. There's the fucking cats. Those fucking cats were acting crazy last night, too, at the fireworks. I'm waiting to see if there's another litter. They're gonna drop another litter soon. Guaranteed. I guarantee there's going to be more incest going on. You got all those cats right there, right? One of them is going to get horny and knock up the sister. That's just how it is. Because there's the only, you got this group of cats, there's only another group of cats. These cats are so fucking scared, they don't migrate far, most of them. But half of them took off. There was about 30 cats behind that house at one time. Most of them took off. Most of them never came back. So that's kind of a good thing. And it happened right after I grabbed the litter and brought the litter in. All those kittens died besides mine and one other cat. So out of 12, 13 kittens that I knew of, 2 only survived out of that whole litter. I have one of them. So, which we're about to make coffee and stuff. The girl, she looks funny with this all over her fur, but I put it on her nose too, because her nose was still hard as a rock, which it's soft today. So that definitely solved that issue. So she don't have a hard nose anymore. It's seriously, the right here was hard as a rock. It's soft. That's why I took that stuff. So thank you, Margarita. Thank you, Margot. Because of you, Margot, this cat has a soft nose. So, yeah. Yeah, her nose was bad. Which, to get out of here, you just hit Q for clear. We're good to go. I mean, I would like to do some music and stuff, but I can't do that right now. Swag bucks. I'm going to be spending money on swag bucks. Earning money. I'm going to be earning cards, all that stuff. Surveys, all that stuff. If you want to earn money, spending money, you want to earn money, get all those things. You get gift cards from Amazon, all types of shit. Check it out. I'm not getting paid by them. I'm not getting paid by them. I've been looking for, so I travel around the world. I've been traveling around the world. I've always used these sites. I'm looking for new ones. Ones that I can put my name on, that I'm for sure that they're good. So I've been doing the research. Swagbucks is probably the number one. So it wants me to do a survey, which it gave me, I think it was like 50 SBs, which is cash in a sense, not $50, but you add them towards your thing and then you can cash out. So check it out. When I travel, I'm going to be using them a lot, like on everything. So, which I gotta eventually going to be sharing you guys with what websites I use, all these things, because there's certain websites that these sailors use, a lot of these people have, because they own businesses in the port. They know there's sailors out there that are coming in that need work, right? And they do good work. So what they'll do is they have websites you can go on to, right? And you can specify a date that you'll be in port, how long you'll be in there for, your credentials, your name, what you're good at. Basically a resume. You post your resume on there. And when you come in the port, you're almost guaranteed work. It's all contract based, all that stuff. You come in, it's just like a little, facility. You come in, you say, okay, I'm going to be here for 2 weeks. What is it that you have available? They're like, okay, Mr. Retrospect, this is what we got here. Boom, boom, boom. My suggestion is you probably want to go with these guys today because, that's going to be your best bet. You're going to get paid today. That type of stuff, you'll be back before 3 o'clock. It looks like that will work out for what it is you're doing today, Mr. Retrospect. Here's your papers. Sign. The money will be posted to your account whenever the job is done. That type of stuff. And that's how it goes. So I'll be sharing that stuff with you guys when I do it. I would love to share it with you now, but obviously I'm in my house. I got to finish packing up. I got to make money. We got to get out of here. So, I spent a lot of time with the Lord last night, and with myself last night, dreaming, imagining stuff, putting stuff together, in my head, planning it, when you dream it, you plan it. That's how it comes to you. You're deep within your frequency, your solar plexus will send it out and bring it to you. God will work in your favor, but you must have Jesus in your life in order to do that. It won't work in your favor if you don't do so. It's just not going to happen. Which, I want to light candles just to have some smell in here. Which, just fucking burn my finger. Stormy clouds today. I love candles. I always like candles. And that's a thing that's going to be on the boat. I'm not going to be able to light candles like that. They're going to have to be contained in a container, all that stuff. So, fire is the worst thing on a boat. That's the absolutely last thing you want is a fire on a boat. That's terrible. Bad news all around. It's bad, especially a ship. I've seen stuff. It's terrible stuff. It's terrible. You do not want to know what happens to people when you see a bunch of them get burned up. It's sick. So, I couldn't imagine, like, World War II with those fucking napalm backpacks they had and shit. They used and stuff, those flamethrowers. That shit was crazy, man. World War II trench warfare was seriously, like, it was sickening. That's why they developed biological warfare, because they're cowards. They didn't want, and because instead of them, they knew that they can't go up in there and shoot a man, because there's no reason for them to shoot a man. That's why they made nuclear weapons, because they're evil. They don't want to go over there and kill. They just want to decimate. And listen, those nuclear weapons aren't for us. Listen, think about it. All those nuclear weapons weren't designed really for us. They were designed to take out shit, other planets and other things. You know what I mean? Think about it, man. That's what that shit's for. Shit's crazy. But, that's why I keep this, man. People are fucking nuts. I don't give a fuck who you are. I don't know you. You're not taking me with you. I haven't done anything wrong. You hear me? There's absolutely no reason for you to come get me and tell me and take me. I did not do anything wrong to anybody. You hear me? Therefore, you try to take me, arrest me, you're getting shot. Period. You're getting blown back. Period. I don't care who you are. It's facts. It's factual. Ever since I fell in love with Jesus, man, I have not done one thing wrong. One thing wrong. There's the woodpecker. There's two of them. There's one in that hole. You can see where they dug the hole. There's one right there, and there's the other one. You can see it in the hole, just enjoying the day. I wonder, let me see something. I'm gonna zoom in for you guys. Let me see something. Is it this way? No. Yeah, this tree is full of woodpeckers. It's amazing. They go crazy. They screech. That screeching is annoying, dude. They do it at about 6:30 in the morning, right when the sun starts coming out. They go nuts. It's sad, man, because the trees are dying. The pollution is killing them. So, what's funny, I posted on my Facebook, right? The gentleman that messaged me to do this truck, I told him I'd be out on July 4th, you know what I mean? To, call me, come over here at 9 a.m. in the morning, come by, I'll be up. Randomly last night, he sent me a message and he said, I know this is random, but he said, I just read this on my phone through Apple News, because he's got an Apple iPhone, and he sent it to me, and he said, I know you said that you're going to be, doing global warming stuff on your YouTube, and then here it is. Beijing, China recorded the highest temperature yesterday, July 3rd. Not yesterday, the day before, the highest temperature ever recorded in history. In history. And listen, the Chinese have been recording for thousands of years. They have documents from 2,000-3,000 years ago what temperature it was that day. You hear me? They're very sticklers. They listen. They believe in ancestry, so everything that they have is ancestral. They copy the family lineage. Where do you think they got that shit? That the Hebrews did the same thing. The Bible is the same thing. They kept their family. They kept. Listen, man. The Bible is one of the most amazing pieces of paperwork that have been put together around the world. That has meaning and significance to everyone. It applies to everyone in this world. So, it tells you where we come from. It tells you why we're here. It tells you about the aliens. It tells you about everything. And what's amazing too is it leaves a lot out to let people wonder and ponder, which is a good thing. They don't need to know everything. So, let's make some coffee, man. That's what we're going to do. We're make some coffee. This is, so, if you have cat food, I'm telling you, if you have cat food like this, if you leave it out, right, you can set it out within a couple hours. If you have flies around, you'll see little white eggs. They'll lay the egg sacs down on there. You'll see them. It looks crazy looking. I couldn't tell you how many fly eggs I picked out of cat food already. It's disgusting. It almost makes me nauseous seeing it. It makes me want to throw up. It's gross. But I just scoop out the eggs and then I fucking walk outside or throw them in the grass. But that's why I keep it covered now. So even though I used a little bit too much, but whatever. So now I gotta worry about those fucking flies coming in here. And I gotta have my doors open, man. I gotta have my windows open, which we're gonna be here all day, other than maybe leaving for food. I gotta get money for food first, though. I don't have no milk, no nothing, really. I have no money. I didn't make no money yesterday. If it wasn't for my neighbor across the street, I wouldn't have ate. I wouldn't have had weed, nothing. I wouldn't have weed right now. I'm about to smoke, man. I still got that big-ass nug. I haven't even touched it. That's why I went to bed, man. I was like, fuck this. I mean, I didn't go to bed. I just, I hung out, did my stuff. Spent time with God, myself, alone. All right. Coffee. I gotta have coffee, my man. Got to. Number one priority, coffee and weed. Women, number one priority is really God, Margot, or the same as children, Margot, it's the same thing. Then everything after that. Jesus, family come before me. That's why I'm doing all of this. I want my family to have nothing, want for nothing. I'm tired of wanting stuff. I never had anything growing up, man. My mom, my dad, if it wasn't for my two older brothers' father or my Polish grandma growing up, I wouldn't have had shit. The only other person that got me stuff was my brother Chris, and he stole the shit. Listen, man, I had the baddest bike. I always had the coolest bike in the neighborhood, you hear me? My brother always made sure I had the coolest bike. Which, it's funny because I had the coolest one I had. It was actually a GT. I wanted the Haro Group 1, but my brother kept that. My brother kept the Haro Group 1 when he was younger. I never got it. He ended up getting me a GT, which fucker was dope as fuck. It was, this is 90s GT, okay? This is freestyle stuff, GT performer type stuff, It was sick, man, and listen, man, I kept this bike in my room. That's how much I love this bike. I would flip it over on the back, on the seat and the handlebars. I'd keep it clean, all that stuff, man. Listen to this shit. I go to bed in my room, right? I'm 8 years old, 9 years old. I go to bed. I wake up, my bike is gone. What? I'm crying, man. Everything, dude. Who took my bike, you know? Somebody came in the house, took my bike. Right? Nobody came in the house and took my bike. My fucking stepdad took my bike, went down across the street right here. Listen, we were living in a house not too far from here. He went right across Telegraph, right into the hood, and sold my bike for crack rocks. Took his shotgun out of the fucking garage, sold it for crack rocks. He sold my bike and the fucking shotgun. The same shotgun I have right here. The same exact one, pretty much, just without a pistol grip. Same Mossberg 500. And what's funny is, my mom tried to tell me, at 9 years old, 8 years old, you hear me? My mom's trying to tell me somebody broke in the house and stole it. I'm 9 years old, 8 years old, telling my mom she's full of shit. Telling my mom, your fucking husband took it. At 8 years old, I'm talking like this. You hear me? Crazy, man. Blows my motherfucking mind, man. I got out of that house, man. You know what's funny is I made my mom at 10 years old, 11, that summer. After all that shit, after being in that house and taking my bike and watching my mom fucking beat on my mom, I took that same shotgun. My brother, listen, man, that guy's fucked up. I've forgiven him, but, you know, and he's traumatized me and my fucking family. Evil, man. He was possessed by evil. I've seen it. I've watched this man go from being just fine, being the most loving person in the world, to straight up possessed. I'm serious. It's crazy. But, you know, I put my mom, he ended up stealing his mom's truck to go get drugs, right? Which my mom used to go get the crack for him. Because I rode with my mom to go get him crack before. Because if my mom would try to, I know why my mom did it. My mom didn't make the first marriage work, her 2 older sons, right? Never worked out with me and hit my dad. She wanted to make it work out. She didn't want her 2 kids being without a father, no matter how fucked up he was. That's how she's seen it. That's in her head, that's what she saw. So here she is dragging us through all this shit to try to make something work that was never gonna work. But I told her, you know, she'd go get him crack, because she knew if she didn't go get it, he'd end up in jail. He would end up, the car impounded, all this shit would end up costing tons of money, instead of just going to go get him some rocks. And he'd been fine, you know, so that's what she did. And it became a thing, you know, for years, you know. He took advantage of it, you know what I mean? He took advantage of my mom, you know, and allowed it to, you know, my mom allowed it to fester, you know. And I had enough of it. I told my mom, I'm leaving. Where you going? You can't go nowhere. You don't have nowhere to go. Yes, I do. I have a father that's going to take me in, which was my 2 older brothers' father, which I love that man. That's why I worked so hard and did all this. You see all this nice furniture? You think I bought all this nice furniture for just me? No, man. I wanted my dad to have nice stuff, man, and he didn't cherish any of it. He said nice. The one thing he said was nice stuff. It's nice stuff, Jonathan. That's all he said. He didn't cherish it. It's like he almost was like, this is too nice for me. Like, you know what I mean? And what it was, man, what it straight up was, is it hit him. Because he realized that he was a coward his whole life and ran from, you know, let women walk all over him, let his children walk all over him. I never walked all over that man. I've never took from that man without permission. That man, everything that man has ever asked, yes, sir, I've done it. I've fucking fixed everything that man has ever had. it irritates me, it irks me that he will completely just listen, that man cut me off completely, blocked me, everything. That whole family. And then I had one of them reach out to me. They blocked me, right? They reach out, they don't want nothing to do with me, don't want to call me. Listen, when I got locked up, not one person called me, not one person reached out to me. The only person was my father, my 2 older brothers' father. Not my real family, not my Polish family. I even asked my older father, right? My father, hey, is there any way you can go to my Polish family and see if we can talk to them? You know what they said? No. We don't want nothing to do with him. Have him call us when he's out. That's fucked up. I don't want nothing to do with your fucking piece of shit ass. Fuck you. Fuck that family. It's not even a family. I know it's not a family because they're not together. They're all bickering and fighting. My Aunt Barbara's a piece of shit. She thinks she's fucking just because she gives money. She thinks she's all high and... No. You can take that money and fucking stick it up your shit don't stink thinking ass. I can't stand it, man. And I know she's watching my videos too because on Facebook, when people go on your Facebook, it shows. It shows who's looking at your stuff. Fuck you. All of you. Fucking stupid. Y'all have no idea who I am, where I've been. You don't fucking listen to me. When I do talk, I try to tell you guys where I've been, what I've done. No, it's unbelievable. Because they never done it. Fuck off. It's bullshit too, man. I asked him to come in. Me and Margarita were fighting and stuff, and, you know, she was having problems with this family. I asked them to come in for support, just to be there. They wouldn't even come in. They wouldn't even do anything. I'm surprised they even showed up. And the only reason why I think they showed up is because they fucking felt bad for all these years not being there for me. And guess what? They still aren't. But act like they've done things for me. Okay, you let me stay up above your house. That's what family's supposed to do. Fuck out of here, man. Need a smoke. I want to smoke a joint, I do. But all I have is this bud left, and I gotta make it last today. And unless I get money, I'm not donating, I'm not leaving this house today, I'm not. Unless I get money. That's why I saved us, that's why I went to bed, man. Yeah, this thing is dense. I knew it. This was like, listen, this is like 2 grams on its own. My neighbor fucking blessed me like crazy. That's why I gave him what I gave him, man. Listen, man, I gave that man over $1,000 worth of stuff, you hear me? Out of my own money. That's what I paid into it, you hear me? And all that stuff, I got $1,000 into it, and that's bought used, you can imagine some, the stuff that I gave him, man, is nice stuff, like that Christian Dior bag, that was, listen, man, to buy something like that, that's $500 easily. You can't touch something like that for less than $500, you hear me? You go to the pawn shop, you go look at some of these clutches and shit that for these women, you're talking $900. There's one that's I want. It's $900. I want it for Margarita. It's her. I plan on getting it before I leave. I actually told God to make sure. I asked God to make sure no one buys it. I'm serious. And it's still there. It's been there for half a year. It's never. Listen, all of the purses, all the clutches are being sold, but that one. But it's also one of the most expensive ones they have on the shelf. $900. The rest of them are like 3, 4, you know, they're affordable, you know what I'm saying? That's what they're known for, is their bags, their shoes. The Garden City Pawn is known for their shoes. They got a cool ass Nike selection, which I'm going to be going up there to get shoes. They got shoes up there that you don't see anywhere else, okay? And it's always nice to look at them. Then I don't like ordering shoes online. Every time I order shoes online, they look cool in the fucking photo. They look sweet as fuck, and then I get them and they're not what I think. So that's why I like going shopping, you know, it's part of the experience. I don't like ordering online, which is gonna bother me ordering stuff from Port. I'm gonna have to come in Port and I gotta order a lot of stuff online. And it's hard. Like, I hate Amazon shopping, man, because you always get the stuff and it's never what it is, man. Sometimes I'm happy. There is products out there where, you know, I've gotten them and, you know, and they ended up being what I wanted them to be, you know. But that's very, very few in between, you know. So, yeah, we're gonna get stuff done today. I'm really hoping this guy comes out. So, after this video, I'm about to message him. I might actually message him on the computer. I do need to set that up so I can just text message people, which I can set it up to work through my phone, which I need to set it up so I can just basically talk to my computer. You know, there's tons of stuff, WhatsApp, all that shit. You can do it with WhatsApp, all those things. They have a desktop thing, so you download WhatsApp on your phone, which I like WhatsApp. I actually prefer to use it talking globally because it's secure. It's the only encrypted, it's the only really encrypted communication software that Facebook really supports, which honestly was developed for people like me that are always on the road lonely and shit, you know, and the service. That's what WhatsApp was designed for. It was for the service for people for like mostly pilots, those type of people that are always in the air, you know. They don't have a way to communicate securely, so that's why they developed WhatsApp. Facebook Messenger is not secure. Do not message anything that you don't want people to know. Everything is saved, recorded, everything. Listen, man, they steal people's ideas, all that shit. Don't think that they don't. If you're talking about an invention or an idea over Facebook Marketplace, they're watching. Listen, man, the government hacked my fucking Facebook, man. The government is who has my Facebook. I'm positive. I'm pretty positive. Which I'll be getting it back eventually. So I'm excited to smoke. Coffee's done. Open up the Bible, get some reading in. Alright, this is starting to piss me off. I know I was reading on Facebook, so many people fucking were complaining they didn't get no food yesterday, man. There's a reason why you didn't get food yesterday. There's a reason why people didn't bring you food yesterday. Because your priorities ain't right, homeboy. Gotta get off that shit, man. Get away from all that lifestyle. That lifestyle, nobody wants to live that lifestyle. This person was representing that lifestyle. He white, first of all. He from the D, right? But he trying to act like he black. And yeah, you are black. Because you grew up and most of your friends are black. Or your whole family is pretty much black. I get it. But there's a point to where it starts becoming ignorant, right? And it's bad. that person's bad. It's not cool to be gangster anymore. That shit's old. That shit was whack when it happened. It was a big thing for a minute in the industry, the music industry, you know, selling drugs and all that other shit. That it was just a mainstream thing that Detroit popped out. It got big for a second. People liked it because it was catchy, you know what I mean? And then it died out.